wait for you, Michelle.
You know what? Maybe I should just raise this up a little bit. It's kind of low. Huh? Let me see. There we go.
Sorry about that.
There.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Been a busy couple of days.
All right.
Just give your first and last name, please, and your title.
Morgan Geyer, Morgangire, Placer County District Attorney.
Your thoughts
Please
on
summarize what
today's
happened in the
outcome?
courtroom today.
Sure. We were looking forward to today. Despite the comments from both his attorney and the defendant himself, the truth prevailed, and we are thankful to the jury, thankful to the Wood and Spoor family, and ultimately thankful for the judge for the sentence today.
This case definitely stood out to a lot of community members, not just here locally, but I mean, I cover the 209 area, so a lot of people there asking questions. You know, this is something that definitely stands out to the people. Just, is this something that is, you know, kind of unusual for the DA's office to take on, and can you touch on why?
The crimes itself are not unusual. We prosecute these crimes all the time. The nature of this case was somewhat shocking to everyone. Violence like this within a family, with all of sort of the family dynamics that were involved, make it unusual, make it complicated from a human perspective. But from a legal perspective, despite some of the arguments that were made, this was based on evidence, circumstantial evidence, direct evidence, and common sense. And that's ultimately what the jury used to get to their verdict. So while the case has some unique complexities to it, at the end of the day, it's a homicide case, and you saw our prosecutor Rick Miller navigate it beautifully.
But Morgan, you know, this is unusual. I've covered murder trials in 5 states. The judge even said he's never seen a case like this, and it's been dragged out. I don't know if dragged out is the right word, but it's continued on, extra innings in this case, with the claims made and the motions for a new trial, having a convicted killer on the stand for 5 days. Just, I mean, wrap your head around that and explain in the legal world how this is unusual.
Yeah, there are all sorts of possibilities that can happen in a criminal case, and in this one, everything that could happen did happen. The post-conviction sort of hearing process was incredibly long. It is very unusual for a criminal defendant to testify at a post-conviction hearing or a motion for a new trial. So that was unique, particularly in light of the fact that Mr. Serafini didn't testify during the trial itself, which provides even more insight into Mr. Serafini and sort of his motivations for this crime. So I agree. This had a lot of sort of hallmarks of things that don't normally occur in most criminal cases, and sort of everything that could happen happened in this one. But ultimately, we got to the right place.
Yeah, do you agree with the judge of arrogant, calling Serafini arrogant, a manipulator, a liar?
Absolutely. I think the judge was correct. I think that was apparent all the way through, from the evidence in the case to his demeanor and attitude to the content of the things he said, not only during the motion for a new trial, but in particular today. I mean, it was offensive what he said today. It was tone deaf. It was narcissistic. It wasn't surprising, sadly, but it was difficult to hear him say that with the victims and the family members in the audience. It just gave even more insight into who Mr. Serafini is and why he committed these crimes.
And do you think Adrian's life is in danger?
Well, now that Mr. Serafini is serving a sentence of life without parole, I think Mr. Serafini is where he needs to be. I don't think there's a direct threat. I think his disdain was apparent, but I think he's a lot of talk and a lot of show and not a lot of substance, and I think we got that today through his comments. But I understand her concerns, and that is a very unnerving feeling. But Mr. Serafini is out of options at this point.
Do you want him out of your jail?
I think that's where he belongs. He's now a sentenced inmate serving a life without parole sentence. That represents someone with nothing else to lose. So from a security standpoint, prison is where he belongs. Those are the institutions designed to house inmates for the rest of their lives. And to the degree that he exerts some sort of influence, as he almost bragged about today, it's much easier for our county for him to go wherever he needs to go and be out of our hair for good. So Mr. Zimmerman will appeal. In fact, I think he held up what looked to be a notice of appeal, although those usually can't be filed until the sentence is pronounced, so he was a little premature. But he'll appeal. That's a standard procedure in this case, almost automatic. The judge has made a terrific record in this case, gave Mr. Zimmerman and Mr. Serafini as much latitude as they possibly could have had in both the motion for a new trial and today in their comments. So the appellate court will review it, and we're confident that they will affirm the conviction, and Mr. Serafini will spend the rest of his life in prison where he belongs. I don't know, I can invite Rick up here if you want. You want to say anything, Rick? Or are you good? I'm good. All right. All right.
You want to say something.
He's glad it's over. But we couldn't be more proud of the job he did, and the support from the family made all the difference in the world. So thank you all very much, and let us know if you have any follow-up questions.
Might be available to speak, or anybody else?
I'm sorry?
Are there any family members that might be
Yes, I believe Adrienne said she was going to come out here shortly. So if you hang around, she should come out. She did indicate she wanted to make a few comments. So thank you all very much. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been seeing Leo, not you. I'm glad you're here. Well, good. Things good? All right. Well, let me know if there's thank you from us.
Working man of the hour, right there.
Hello. Today's sentence brings a measure of justice to something that can never be made right. On June 5th, 2021, Dan Serafini executed my dad, and he left my mom to die. But what's important to remember is that my mom fought with everything she could to get out of the house that night, and she did not let Dan Serafini win. My 69-year-old mom escaped a murder scene, got herself out of the house, and changed her will to remove Aaron Spohr and Dan Serafini. Dan, with support from Aaron Spohr, has fought against justice this entire process. But Placer County never gave up. They knew, just like I knew, who did this. And Dan Serafini was finally held accountable for what he did to my parents today. And he'll spend the rest of his life behind bars. Aaron Spohr chose not to show up today. Once again, choosing to avoid responsibility for supporting her husband and resisting justice for my parents. And I will be forever grateful to the Placer County Sheriff's Office and the District Attorney's Office for never giving up on this case. It has been 5 years. And I owe one of the deepest debts of gratitude to Rick Miller, who fought tirelessly for my parents and for the truth. My parents would have been honored that somebody so powerfully fought for them. My parents were in love, and their 50-year marriage is a testament to that. They were adventurous, and they loved their community, and they should be here today. But they're not because of the actions of Dan Serafini. The people behind me are my community. Many of them are my parents' closest friends, and they're the reason why I've been able to survive the past 5 years. And because of their support, I'll be able to look forward to a future that my parents would be proud of, because I'm going to take this evil and I'm going to make it something good. Thank you.
Adrian, can you describe what it's been like, having to wait? We're supposed to be sentenced in August. It's February. Just describe that, your patience that you've had to have, and especially with him testifying 5 days on the stand, and then his 10 or 12-page statement that he read today. How do you keep your composure, and how do you keep it in? You know, having to listen to that.
I think I've been very fortunate to have perspective. I think that Judge Horst did right by this case and providing ample due process so that Dan's attorneys could not keep coming back and claiming that he wasn't getting due process. And I think in a lot of ways, Dan made himself appear who he is, and far worse had they stopped at the end of the trial. So, you know, it's been a long time, but I am hopeful that in, litigating all of this right now, the judge has helped us close the door to the appeals, because what we are tired of is the constant notifications that Dan is trying something else, some other lie, some other angle to avoid responsibility. And I'm just grateful to Judge Horst that, he was patient and he made sure that all of those excuses are going to be shut down. Thank you.